Number 3, stay inside the blue rails. Number 4, at the bow, under the blue doors, 43 life jackets. And the river's 3 to 5 feet deep. You fall in, stand up, walk out of your... Did you see the movie Selena starring Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo? And the footbridge was in the movie. One of the scenes in the movie Selena, Jennifer Lopez was sitting on the bridge. Did you see the boat that passed by here in the movie? Did you all see the boat captain who was in the movie? It was somebody else. On our left, the Omni La Mansión del Rio, the hotel opened for the 1968 World's Fair Hemisfair. The site was originally the St. Mary's School for Boys, founded in 1853. Hey, I'm going to show you an optical illusion. The Knicks Hospital. From down here, the hospital looks like a 26-story wall. Look straight up in the air on our left side of the boat. Look straight up. Check it out. The Knicks Hospital opened 1930. Carol Burnett, born here 1933. There's Dick's Last Resort, also known as the recovery room. Those people had brain surgery this morning.
What about it? I recommend it.
Yeah, the hospital, pharmacy, clinic, doctor's offices, ambulance service, parking garage under one roof. All right, hey, we got ducklings coming up on the right side of our boat, the Mallard ducklings. Now look up high, straight ahead of us, the Hyatt Regency Riverwalk. The hotel opened 1981. They limited the height of the hotel to 16 stories so as not to cast a shadow on the Alamo when the sun sets. You can head from the Riverwalk through the Hyatt Regency up to the Alamo. Have you been to the Alamo?
Yeah.
I have relatives who bought there. My aunt and uncle bought there last week. Hey, the Crockett Street Bridge is undergoing extensive restoration, built in 1890 by the Berlin Iron Bridge Company of East Berlin, Connecticut. Connecticut on board, right? On our right side of the boat, the Casino Club building. It opened 1927. The Casino Club was a German social club founded by the German immigrants, 1853. There are apartments upstairs, and one of the apartments was once home to a well-known author, Alex Haley. He wrote the book Roots. This is River Square. The River Square. Look up on the right side of our boat, the Clifford Building, 1941. Robert Hoekman, father of the Riverwalk, the architect who designed the Riverwalk, had his office where the restaurant is, proving a business could survive down here once flood control measures were implemented. Now coming up over on the right side of our boat, Casa Rio, 1946. The oldest restaurant on the Riverwalk, Casa Rio. They pioneered dining along the riverbank and boat tours. They ran the Venetian-style gondolas, like you see in Venice. A gondolier stood on the back and pushed the gondola through the water. Gondoliers, they sang, they serenaded passengers. Sorry. I'll spare you the misery. Now, we're leaving the natural river, the Horseshoe Bend. Spring Bed 4 miles north of here. We are now in the man-made Hemisfair extension, built for the 1968 World's Fair Hemisphere. They excavated, landscaped, planted all the trees down here. They built the San Antonio Chamber of Commerce coming up on our left. There used to be a J.C. Penney department store right here. We're floating right through the basement of the J.C. Penney. They built the convention center. We're headed over there right now. The Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center, named to honor the first Hispanic elected to the U.S. Congress. Henry B. Gonzalez was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1961. He served 18 terms. He passed away. His son, Charlie Gonzalez, held that seat. Charlie retired 4 years ago. They built a waterfall. Look on the right side of our boat, the man-made waterfall. It helps circulate water, keep water aerated, moving and flowing back to the natural river we came from. We had 7 million visitors for the World's Fair. Average about 30 million visitors a year to the city today. Hey, look up high, straight ahead of us, Marriott River Center. It opened at the River Center Mall 1988. Before they could build the hotel, one problem, there was another hotel located on that site. The historic Fairmont Hotel, established in 1906, listed in the National Register of Historic Sites, couldn't be torn down. They moved it 6 blocks to South Alamo and Nueva. Look on the right bank, there's a cormorant. Cormorant dive into the river and catch fish. They become a nuisance around our fish hatcheries. The hatcheries do a bit of netting to keep cormorant out. Now, if you all look up over Market Street Bridge, high above the downtown skyline, the Tower of the Americas, opened for the World's Fair, Hemisfair 1968. 622 feet to the rooftop, 750 feet to the top of the antenna. The second tallest freestanding observation tower in the United States. Do you know what the tallest is? Yes, you are correct. The Las Vegas Stratosphere, 1,000 feet. Our tower, 622. Seattle Space Needle, 606. The tower has the observation level at the very top, and below that, the Chart House restaurant. The Chart House revolves. The Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. They expanded the convention center. The newest edition opened up in January. They then demolished the oldest part of the convention center on our right side of the boat. They're going to build a Walmart supercenter. No, it's going to be a park, brand new city park. Look up on our left, the Lilac Theater for the Performing Arts, named to honor the city's first female mayor, Lila Cockrell. And near the top of the theater, you have the Confluence of Civilization mural, the work of a well-known artist from Mexico City, Juan O'Gorman. He did the work in Mexico City. It took a year to complete, laid out on the ground in panels. 400,000 1-inch polished stones. The Confluence of Civilization mural. Now, this edition of the convention center opened in the year 2000, 16 years ago. And what they did, they demolished Hemisfair Arena, the original home to the San Antonio Spurs. The old arena was located right here. You can head up that sidewalk under the convention center, right up the stairs to Hemisfair Park, site of the World's Fair. Short walk up to the Tower of the Americas and Institute of Texan Cultures Museum. It opened as the Texas Pavilion for the World's Fair, the Institute of Texas Cultures. Excellent museum. Hey, we have an opportunity for a group photo. Guide our boat through here, like the Jungle Cruise at Disney. Yeah, right here is where the water cannon sprays us. It's not working. Oh well. All right, look up on the right side of our boat. You have another view of the confluence of civilization here. 400,000 1-inch polished stones, 11 different natural colored stones that were quarried from 7 countries. I look high on the right side of our boat, the Grand Hyatt Convention Center Hotel. There are condominiums on the top 8 floors. The Alteza Condominiums at Grand Hyatt Convention Center, 1 to 3 bedrooms starting in the $300,000 range. There's a cormorant. Look over on the right side of our boat. Cormorant. Dive, catch fish. There he goes. We're making him nervous. Not in here. There's flood control in place, floodgates and dams. Flood tunnel to divert flood water. When Rio hired me yesterday, they asked me, Doug, how tall are you? I told them 5'4". They said I'd be the perfect height. Straight ahead of us, the statue San Antonio. Do you see the statue in the gray polo shirt and khaki slacks? San Antonio. The river and city were named after him. June 13th of 1691, the feast day of St. Anthony. Father Damian Mascanet held Mass along the banks of the river. They named the river in honor of St. Anthony. The statue was a gift from Portugal for the 68th World's Fair, Hemisfair. The statue was located over in Hemisfair Park at the Portuguese Pavilion. After the World's Fair, they moved the statue down here. Hey, this is one of our other locations. Same tour, 3 locations. Hey, look on our left, the lemon tree. Right behind the lemon tree, that Margaritaville opened July, and upstairs, the Yard House opened in May of this year. Now look up on our left, there's an orange tree. Do you see the oranges? The shops at River Center opened as River Center Mall 1988. Head inside, up the escalator, out that door at the IMAX Theater to the Alamo. Right out to the back of the Alamo.
Hi, kids.
Get off your chair. It's off.
Reach out and feel these leaves. It's tropical poison ivy. Philodendron. Philodendron.
You hold on to that, yes. Sean.
On our right side, another view of the statue, San Antonio. Do you see the statue in the gray polo shirt and khaki slacks? San Antonio. Now look up on the right side of our boat. Up beyond that sycamore tree, you will see the steeple of St. Joseph's Catholic Church, founded by the German immigrants, 1868. The German immigrants, Lutherans, founded St. John's down on the Nueva Street, and the Catholic St. Joseph's right up there on Commerce Street. Every fourth Sunday of the month, there's an all-male choir, the Liederkranz, they sing in German. St. Joseph's Catholic Church, 1868. Right up behind the church, the old Joski's department store. Joski's closed years ago. They excavated the interior, saving only the facade of the old Joski's building, and they added retail to the shops at River Center earlier this year. They opened Dave & Buster's, H&M, the Battle for Texas experience, and restaurants. On our right side, San Antonio Chamber of Commerce. You can head right up the stairs, 2 short blocks north to the Alamo Street ahead of us. Now look up on street level beyond that Chamber of Commerce. That orange sculpture, the Torch of Friendship, a gift from Mexico the summer of 2002, the sculptor Sebastian. Friendship between the United States, Mexico, and Canada, the Torch of Friendship. All right, we're going to exit out of the man-made Hemisfair extension. We're headed to the horseshoe bend of the river. The San Antonio River is spring-fed 4 miles north of here, up on the campus of the University of the Incarnate Word at the Blue Hole. South of there in Brackenridge Park, near the San Antonio Zoo and Whitney Museum. Hey, look up over Market Street Bridge, the Hilton Palacio del Rio, the palace on the river. H.B. Zachary built the hotel in 202 working days. Just 7.5 months from the date they broke ground to the date guests checked in. It opened just in time for the 1968 World's Fair. Modular construction, rooms stacked like Legos. Zachary built the first 4 floors and the elevator shaft here. It looked like an upside-down T. Rooms were built as modular units at H.B. Zachary headquarters 6.5 miles southwest of here, constructed on an assembly line, carried up here on flatbed trucks, lifted with cranes, then stacked like Legos. Modular construction. Hey, look up on the right side of our boat. Check it out, the world's largest frozen margarita machine. Anybody thirsty? On our left, a couple of restaurants, originally homes of German immigrants with Bombeck and Dashiell families. Just ahead of us, the Arneson River Theater. Did you see the movie Miss Congeniality starring Sandra Bullock? Yeah. The swimsuit contest was filmed right here on this stage. Did you see the boat captain who was in that movie? On our left, right up the stairs to La Villita, the little village of Old San Antonio, historic La Villita, the oldest neighborhood in the city. On our left, the olive trees are in bloom. On our right side, we have the Briscoe Western Art Museum, named to honor former governor, the late Dolph Briscoe. That sculpture coming home to the Briscoe artist T.D. Kelsey, the vaquero driving Longhorn cattle right up out of the river. Now this site was originally a Carnegie Library. For years it was Hertzberg's Circus Museum. The Briscoe Western Art Museum opened 4 years ago. Just ahead of us, Chrissa Street Bridge. It is identical to the Crockett Street Bridge. Chrissa, it means a dam. The river dammed up, water diverted through an acequia, a hand-dug irrigation ditch. 50 miles of acequias irrigated farm land of the 5 Spanish missions. Now right here we have the old mill crossing. Back in the 1800s, there was a mill on the right bank of the river where the Hotel Contessa is today. The old Nate Lewis mill that ground wheat grain. Right here below the mill, the San Antonio River was only a foot deep. Horses and wagons crossed here. The old mill crossing. Now look up high on the left side of our boat, the Tower Life building. It opened 1929 as Smith Young Insurance. 404 feet tall, 30 stories, neo-Gothic style architecture. 20 gargoyles near the top of the building. They extend out 3 to 4 feet. They serve as drainage. We have a heavy rainfall. Water pours out the mouth of the gargoyles. And above the first floor, a pair of faces every 15 feet, known as grotesque. Very typical of neo-Gothic style. Gargoyles and grotesque guard and protect the building. On our right side, the Homewood Suites. The building was the San Antonio Drug Company, 1919 to 1963. San Antonio Drug. Straight ahead of us, the Bayhar County Courthouse, 1896. The county's courthouse. Architect James Riley Gordon. Architectural style, Richardson Romanesque. On our right side, the International Center. The building was our main library, 1968 to 96. Today, trade offices for NAFTA, Convention and Visitor Bureau offices, restaurants, and marina, one of 2 marinas where we park our boats. Floodgate number 4. It rises up out of the San Antonio River like a drawbridge. Floodgate 4. Down to our left, floodgate number 5. Look back behind us. Floodgate number 5 is a dam. The San Antonio River, it drops off 15 feet down there at floodgate 5. The river flows south through the King William Historic District, a neighborhood that was settled by German immigrants. South of there, the Mission Reach. They had the grand opening 4 years ago. They added 8 miles of Riverwalk, hike, bike, jogging trails, paddling trails. You can canoe and kayak south of town, the Mission Reach. We now have 14.5 miles of Riverwalk. Now the San Antonio River, it flows southeast 240 miles. About 140 miles as the crow flies, meeting up with the Guadalupe River about 10 miles from San Antonio Bay down on the Gulf of Mexico. Hey, right now we are in the man-made flood channel built in 1926 for flood control. 25 feet from the street to the concrete bottom. The river's 15 feet deep right here in the man-made flood channel. They constructed the flood channel across this end of the horseshoe, creating a loop. Straight ahead of us, the North Channel. The San Antonio River is spring fed 4 miles north of here. You can catch the Rio taxi point to point on the river. The taxi boats take you up that North Channel to the Museum Reach. They take you through a lock. You rise 8.8 feet in the lock and head up to the Pearl Brewery. They restored the old abandoned Pearl Brewery into a hotel. The Hotel Emma opened last year. Gate 3, look overhead. Floodgate 3, we have a flash flooding. They drop floodgate 3 like a guillotine. They test it daily every afternoon around 3 o'clock.
Right now.
What time is it? Hey, we're back in the horseshoe bend of the river. Look on the right side of our boat. There's a fig tree growing right out of the wall of the Bella restaurant. Check that out. You got the fig tree, and then you head right up the stairs to the Esquire Tavern, 1933. It opened right after Prohibition was repealed. The bar's 108 feet long, the Esquire Tavern. On our left, the Drury Inn and Suites Hotel. That building opened in 1921 as city public service, electric, and gas. We paid our electric bill down here years ago. On the right side of our boat, the Aztec Theater opened 1926. The front of the theater, right up the stairs on St. Mary Street. It closed in 1984. Eventually it was restored and reopened in 2006. They've restored the theater, the Wurlitzer organ in the theater. They excavated under Crockett Street to the basement, rebuilt Crockett Street above, and opened restaurant and retail on the Riverwalk in the basement of the restored Aztec Theater. Well, I have enjoyed having you along on our tour. I hope y'all enjoy your stay in San Antonio. Have a safe trip home. Come back here to see us again soon. Check around your seats for your valuables that are left on our boat or in our lost and found for 2 or 3 days. And then I sell your stuff on eBay. I'll have it posted next week. You can bid on it and get it back. Hey guys, for a job well done, our drivers, hey, we always appreciate your tips. Thanks y'all. Have a great day.